Close game here at the start of the second quarter of play. Here's Bynum. 24 home wins for the Chicago Bulls last year, Clark. About what you'd expect from them.
Yeah, I was not surprised. That's a reasonable expectation for the Bulls. But if they want to make the leap to being a top seed in the East, they'll need to up that this year and be a truly unstoppable team at home, which means somewhere in that mid-30s range.
So with Boozer on the bench, here's the 5 for Tom Thibodeau right now. Taj Gibson is out there with Thomas. Then there's Ronnie Brewer, then it's Watson and Corver. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Well, Kevin, an interesting combination of players for the Detroit Pistons, and there are questions about whether Rip Hamilton and Ben Gordon can work well together. They're both jump shooters who play well off the ball. Gordon said, people are going to say, yeah, those two definitely can't play together. But I look at myself as a combo guard. I see myself being able to exist in the game at the same time as Rip, being able to play off of him and make plays for him. Kevin, we'll see how this tandem works out.
Thank you, Doris.
Trying to find the right combination in the Motor City, that's going to be hard. You know, after some of the great teams they've had to go through this process of finding themselves again.
Here is Watson after the basket by Detroit. Four on the clock. Takes the shot. The shot is off. Pistons go the other way with the ball. So, Clark, here's another player snatched out of the D-League by the Warriors, C.J. Watson. He's a fourth-year player out of Tennessee.
And whatever team he's been on, Kevin, he's been a solid contributor. I mean, he's a good mid-range jump shooter. He does a nice job defensively as well. I mean, he was really a coveted player this past offseason, and I think he's got a place in the league for a while now.
Thomas. And good off the glass as he lays it in. Here's Bynum. Still looking to get on the scoreboard. Villanueva backing down. The shot is off. So the Bulls will take it the other way. Gibson down low. Defended by Gordon. Shot's good by Gibson.
Well, I tell you what, it's not a good sign for the defense if he's getting off.
Now Villanueva. Over Thomas. And again, it's the Pistons missing. Watson with it. Bynum on him. He dumps it off. And almost gets it to go, so he'll shoot two here. For years, this Pistons team stayed remarkably injury-free, but Clark, last year, their luck certainly changed.
Yeah, you know, Kevin, Lady Luck can be very fickle and unpredictable, and injuries, when they show up, sometimes it happens in bunches, and there's not much a team can do about it other than try to work through it.
Joakim Noah, he's checked in for Chicago. Bang comes in for Kyle Korver. Then for the Pistons, Jason Maxiell's checked in for Villanueva. And Tayshaun Prince subbed in for Urebko. On him against Dang. Prince, the pass to Wallace. Back to Prince. Kept alive. It's blocked. Chicago trailing here. They want to keep rolling here following the win against the Thunder.
You look at where they really impacted the flow in this one, and it was in getting a hold of the loose balls and taking advantage of the lack of ball control at the other end of the court.
Here's Bynum, looking for his first bucket of the game. We talk about the Pistons' injury woes. You know, they were suffering, it seemed like, a lot of sprained ankles.
Well, it's weird. Sometimes the injuries just attack a certain part of the body, and the head trainer even outlawed a certain type of lightweight shoe that many players were wearing, saying that it didn't provide enough support. So you try to attack it from all angles.
It bounces out of bounds after the shot. And here's what the Detroit Pistons schedule looks like. The Celtics will be coming into town for the next game. That game is the first and last of their homestand. Here is Watson. About 8.5 minutes left in the second. Back to Noah. Rebound Maxiell. Here are the Pistons with the ball. They trail by 1. This is their first chance to take a look at the Bulls this season.
The first of 4 between these teams this season.
Here is Watson. Rebound by Ben Gordon. 4 games, 1 team. That's a nice chunk of your schedule.
Exact same conference too, Kevin. So anytime you face a conference team, it's even more important and significant that you take them out.
Now Dang. After the missed 3 from Gordon. Brewer with the ball. Bynum on it. Here's Gibson. And again, Chicago. No good.
That's pretty smart defense to let him take those shots.
Behind the arc. And the basket by Gordon. Gordon's got his second bucket of the night.
Some players really look for the three-point shot in transition. It's one of the best times to shoot it. You have to be a sharpshooter, though. And, of course, he is.
Here's Gibson. From about 19 feet. And he hits the jumper for 2. Here's Bynum. Under 7 minutes left in the half. He's covered by Watson. And here is Bynum. Not on the scoreboard yet. Over Gibson. Bynum, no good.
That's not something you'll see very often. Got the mid-range jumper he wanted, but off target.
Brewer. The shot misses. Prince with the defensive effort. The Pistons leading. Brewer hits the reach-in call. That is his first foul of the game. And some changes for Chicago. Carlos Boozer's checked in for Gibson. Korver comes in for Luol Deng. And Derrick Rose is subbed in for C.J. Watson. Then for the Pistons, Greg Monroe. He's checked in for Wallace. McGrady comes in for Ben Gordon. Rodney Stuckey's subbed in for Will Bynum. And so here is Chicago. And here is Brewer to the wing. Here's Rose. And good with the shot. And the whistle blows for the contact and a chance for one more.
That's where you want to get the orange, inside, just like that. Defenses have a tough time stopping you there.
The Pistons making a switch here. Villanueva's checked in. And he gives them the lead. Looking at Derrick Rose, you know, his nickname is Pooh after Winnie the Pooh. What do you think about that nickname, Clark?
Well, I like it. I mean, Pooh Rose, I've heard better, but you look at his face and you can kind of see a bit of a resemblance there, Kevin. But in terms of how fresh that nickname is, it might need a little work.
Yeah, I agree. Here's Monroe. Now Stuckey. Here's McGrady. Detroit, no good that time either.
Oh, man. Shots like that will make a coach lose his hair.
And finished off by Rose.
He's getting the highlight reel play of the day for that one. Now that was a dunk.
He certainly put a little something extra into that slam.
Little added pizzazz.
Here's Stuckey. He picked up 21 points in their last win against Oklahoma City. He's covered by Rose. Here's Prince. And that time, also a missed shot. The Bulls leading by 3. Here's Rose. Again, Chicago.
Well, he's playing a well-rounded game, and he's really helped them in a number of ways.
And here are the Pistons now. It's a 5-point game. From 17 feet out, Prince's shot is good. Prince has got his second bucket of the night.
You've got to close out on that mid-range jump shot.
Rose against Stuckey. Here is Brewer. Noah with it. He picked up 15 points in their last win against the Thunder in Oklahoma City. Stuckey against Rose. Arcs it high. Here's McGrady. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. Well, this has been one of the sad stories, Clark, in the NBA with the superstar. Tracy McGrady struggling with injuries. Heaven knows, Clark, how truly great he could have been had he stayed healthy.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's unfortunate because he was truly one of the outstanding talents in the league and was very productive when healthy, but the injuries would always short-circuit or sabotage any type of real consistency for a season with Tracy McGrady. And as a result, we'll always be left wondering how good he could have been had he stayed more healthy during his career.
Kept alive. Monroe with it. Second shot opportunity. Bounces high, but falls through. And the first time out of the game called for Chicago. So for the Bulls, Kurt Thomas, he's checked in for Noah. Bang comes in for Kyle Korver. And it's Watson in for Ronnie Brewer. Here's Rose. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Thunder in Oklahoma City. Baseline jumper. Thomas, that's good. Thomas got his second basket of the game. Here's Stuckey. 10 points for him. The Detroit Pistons trying to get back on track after an uncharacteristic losing season a year ago.
Yeah, and Kevin, if they're going to climb back up in the standings in the East, they can start by taking care of some of the teams in the Eastern Conference. I mean, they were just 18-34 playing against teams in the East last season.
Here's Stuckey. Monroe with the shot, and the Pistons getting another bucket right there.
In the first, he had trouble hitting with any consistency, but here in the second, he's turned it around.
Now Watson. Another one falls for Chicago. Here is Stuckey. 2:40 left in the second. And let's go to Doris Burke. Doris, what do you have for us?
Kevin, 6'11" rookie Greg Monroe is known as a fantastic passer for a big man. He said, "It's just something I was successful using and like to do. It helped win games, me being versatile and helping my teammates get shots. I've grown with it, and I love doing it. It's probably my best skill right now, and I'm going to continue to do it. Guys will like playing alongside him. Back to you."
No doubt about that. Thank you, Doris. Blocked. Dang with the bucket. Tang's got 6 points. Here's Stuckey. Here is Villanueva. Carlos Boozer pulls it in.
This quarter's been a disaster for him, Kevin. He just can't buy a bucket.
Here's Thomas. Jams it home.
Uh-oh. A little bit of a statement made there while he hung on the rim.
That's one way to make sure the whole building knows exactly what you just did. And here are the Pistons now, after the Bulls pick up 2. Monroe. Good D by Boozer. Chicago with the ball. They're on a 19-7 run. Takes it up. And again, Luol Deng. He's got 8.
Kevin, they're fighting extremely hard right here. Bit by bit, just trying to pull away.
Rose against Stuckey. Back to Prince. Fires. Detroit, no good that time either.
He hasn't been able to get on track here.
It's taken away by Stuckey. He's guarded by Thomas. Goes up and closing the shot, even with the foul. Now the 2 free throws. They get Carlos Boozer.
Stuckey's been putting up the numbers. 10 points, and his 2 steals round out those numbers nicely. He's a one-man wrecking crew out there.
So for the Bulls, Noah comes in for Kurt Thomas, and Ronnie Brewer's subbed in for C.J. Watson. Detroit also making some changes. Ben Wallace, he's checked in for Monroe. Maxio comes in for Charlie Villanueva. And Richard Hamilton has subbed in for Tracy McGrady. And it's Rose missing. Pistons trailed by 9. And here is Stuckey. 11 points in the game. From 6 feet. Wallace misses. The Bulls leading by 9. Boozer kicks to Brewer. Guarded now by Tayshaun Prince. And Boozer throws it down.
That's a good look. Very nice look.
Stuckey with it. Tipped.
They certainly haven't been very good here in the quarter in regards to protecting the ball, Kevin.
Brewer defended by Maxiell. Brewer's shot is off.
You can't D up a layup any better than that. Nice work.
Here's Maxiell, and no good trying to get that one.
You know, the defense has really stepped up here to start this game. I like that. They came out ready to take care of business at that end of the floor. Solid defensive work across the board.
And that concludes the first half.
Looking at the game Rose has been having, he's got 14 points, and his huge assist tally makes it all the more impressive. His success in the assist department is carried over to the free throw line.
We'll see you in just a moment, live here from Chicago.
No better way to spend a Saturday night than in the comfort of the one you love, the HP Halftime Report. Out at the United Center, the Bulls have the lead against Detroit. They're just looking to keep heading in the winning direction that they've already charted out so far. The Pistons on the other side, not firing. Missed free throws, all too common thus far. You have to be able to punish a team for fouling you. Charlie Villanueva off to a rough start. He'll be happy to change baskets, even told his coach the lid was on that side of the court. These two have been on their game tonight. They've led the way for their teams in the scoring department. And now that's it for us here in the studios. Let's send you back to your arena. Kevin Harlan, Clark Kellogg, Doris Burke, waiting to call the second half for you.